I'll do that again. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Uh, just watched the game. Oh dear, Spurs just absolutely went through Arsenal. I must admit, but it was a thoroughly enjoyable reality check for the Arsenal fans. I've got to be honest. But E20 Zone TV done a poll this week, and I've got some the results of this poll, and I want to go through them all with you tonight. And yeah, listen, this poll was done for a bit of fun. Some of it was serious, some of it was a bit of a joke, but it is what it is. But I will start off with the results of the first four polls that I've done tonight. Let's have a look. Let's go to it. This one. Now, here we are. We have like the most underrated player at West Ham this season, and basically the vote was in, and it was Pablo Fornals who's the most underrated West Ham player at 41%. Ben Rama got 26%. Surprisingly, Fredericks got above Lanzini, which I was quite shocked about. But Fornals, most underrated West Ham player this season, 41%. There you go. He gets that award for the most underrated player. Moving on to the next one, which was the best chant. And Jared Bowen cleared out on this one with, with the chant, Bowen's on fire. You know the rest. And obviously, Zuma's one coming second, and third was Fornals' one. I do like the Jared Bowen one. He's a very, very, very good chant, I've got to admit. Anyway, moving on to the next one, which will be coming up now, is this one. Who has been the biggest underachiever this season? And this was close, honestly. Vlasic and Souček both in it together all the way through. And then right at the death, Souček nicked it, I think. And has he been the most underachiever? Definitely. Souček's not the same player as he was last season. Ben Rama come third. And obviously last was Kufel. And finally, the best man of the match performance this season. Jared Bowen against Chelsea, I do remember, but my vote was Fornals against Liverpool. Even though Fornals is not my biggest fan, don't get me wrong, I thought he was excellent in that game. Rice was excellent against Villa, and Lanzini's wonder goal against Palace, but Jared Bowen's goal, and he won the penalty against Chelsea. He was absolutely first class. I mean, let's be honest, he deserves that that win. And that was the first lot. Let me know what you think in the chat on that. I really, really think that Bowen deserves it, like the man of the match one, 100%. The one that done me was the underachiever one. And for me, it was a toss-up between Vlasic and Souček. And for me, like, it was neck and neck all the way through the voting. Like, it was like 35% each, 36% each. And then at the death, someone just went, you know what, it's Souček, and it is what it is. But, for me, obviously the best chant is Bowen's one. Scott says Zuma versus Spurs at home was a shout too. Yeah, it was, mate. It really, really was. Do you know what I mean? But I just feel like 4-0 against Liverpool was excellent. Bowen against Chelsea was excellent. And it's a toss of a coin between them two. It really, really was. This is Premier League only, by the way. I didn't do anything else other than just Premier League only. How many YouTube accounts does Mitchell have? No idea. I was going to sing the chant, mate, but, it is man don't sing. What else we got? I will get to sort of the transfer, and there was a like this from here. Ex-West Ham employee. West Ham officially met with Bologna sporting director this week to talk about the availability of left-back Aaron Hickley. Hope to God we sign him. If we sign Aaron Hickley, mate, I'll be over the moon, mate. That boy's a talent, and he's only young and all. Get it done, West Ham. Don't hesitate. That's all I say on that. What else we got? Can you do a poll for the most deluded guest on the show? Will be a landslide. I know, Phil, but it's only my opinion, mate. You know what I mean? I know you've got this thing for Mitchell. I know. Do you know what I mean? Lee says, "Hi James, I enjoy your shows. Thank you very much, Lee. I appreciate the support, sir." I said, "How many YouTube accounts does Mitchell have because of the Souček votes in the poll?" Do you know what? It was neck and neck, mate, between him and Vlasic. And I will move on to the last three polls shortly that I've done. and some of them are pretty good ones, I must admit. But Vlasic has underachieved this year. Do you know what I mean? He has. There's no two ways about it. There's no way. There's no like mucking about. The boys come in and he hasn't done nothing of any note. So I picked him myself. I thought Vlasic has been just a massive waste of time, in my opinion. But people saying Souček, mate, it is. It's not good. It's not good. I know you like Hickley Jones. Looks like he's work in progress to me, promising definitely. Yeah, I like him, man. I do. I think he's a talent. He reminds me of like Robinson and Tierney for like Arsenal, Liverpool, etc. Do you know what I mean? But we will see, though, mate. Will our ball get it done? Probably not. That's the problem. Anyway, let's go on to part 2, and now let's go on to this. What I'm going to get up. Let's have a look. Where are you? Right, you're this. Ready and go. And this is the second part. Right, the best Alex Crowell moment. You had the Kidderminster shocker, United away in the League Cup, Watford away win, missing boots, and smiling from the bench. And I went for smiling on the bench, mate, because that's where he's been most of the season. Shocking from really the way it's turned out with Alex Crowell. I've never known nothing like it, but it is what it is. He did have a great game against United away, though. I've got to be honest, and I thought he was excellent. The Kidderminster shocker, never again. Anyway, moving on to the worst defeat of the season. This was quite a close one. Manchester United at home, Arsenal at home, Brentford at home, Southampton at home. Brentford at home for me was the most heartbreaking one out of the lot. I know Man United was hard because of the penalty, but Brentford, we was just terrible. Southampton, we was no better, but Brentford won it with 53%, which was pretty amazing, really. Do you know what I mean? Pretty with a landslide on that. And the final one of the evening was, if you could sell any player under contract at West Ham, who would it be? And there was a massive 77% for Vlasic. Souček got 8%, Ben Rama 11%, Fornell's 2%, and Ben Johnson got 2%. So Vlasic absolutely got destroyed there on the poll for basically not wanting to be here. Do you know what I mean? Not a lot of the fan base think, you know what, we can sell this man. So Nikola Vlasic gets 77% of the vote for that. Let's see what your thoughts are saying on that one. What we got? Let's start off. Evening, everyone. Moyes never plays Vlasic in his natural best position. I don't know about that, man. I really don't. He's played games this year. He really has. And listen, Benny don't play in his natural position half the time, but he's still scored goals this year and made goals. And Antonio hasn't been like playing his natural position either. So I think it's a bit of an excuse, really. Keane put surely a Yarmolenko's replacement. I agree. My favourite crowd moment was when he tried to kill us Simpson. Yeah. What else have we got here? I voted Johnson. Yeah, listen, it's interesting one with the old Johnson, I must admit. But Vlasic absolutely wins the day there. You know what I mean? Why is Souček on the list? He should be a contender for who should we retain at all costs. Not for me, mate. Phil, I know you will defend. I know you will defend Souček, but I think Souček's been poor, mate. And I think if you go and put James Ward-Prowse in there or a Calvin Phillips, we'd look 10 times better. Do you know what I mean? Listen, when West Ham had Sam Allardyce, the fan base and everyone was like, why we keep playing long ball and over, like balls long and, do you know what I mean, playing like Bolton type football. And that's what we play right now at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Forget the Norwich game. Recently, we've been playing long ball and hit the ball long, hope Antonio holds it up and brings others into play. It is what it is, mate. It really is. Ben Johnson should be captain when Rice is off. But James Vlasic scored a tap in, so we can't slate him. Yeah, mate. As you know, Scott, I've never been a fan of him, but I've never seen the hype, mate. And I just don't. 77% for players under contract, which people are saying, you know what, if he was to leave, then they would be happy. It says it all to me. It really, really does. Vlasic has until January for me. Start him in every Europa Conference group stage game. And if he doesn't cut it, sell him to get funds in January. The problem is, yeah, does he deserve to start games, though? That's the question. That is the real question. Does he deserve Vlasic Has the Flash done enough for you to say, you know what, this man's got to start? Because at present, not for me, not at all. I do question Flash's price tag, to be honest. So why, mate? Every single day. Uh, who do you think starts up front for us in the first game of the season next year? I still think it'll be Antonio, even if we sign someone. No idea, Jezza. No idea. Seems madness to sell who has played nearly every game in our best ever consistent seasons in history. Troj, I understand what you're saying, mate, but he hasn't been good though, has he? Like, like you can defend him, you can defend the man, but has he been good this season? And the answer to that is no. Has other players outshone him? Like, yeah, do you know what I mean? And sometimes I just feel if you're going to play a certain way, he might not fit the way we play. And he's not the reason why West Ham are doing so well. West Ham are doing well, not Thomas Souček. So it is what it is on that. Souček has definitely had a poor season by his own standards. What pisses me off is people saying all season long that he looks tired. He's never stopped running all season. He's just a bit stale for me. The problem is, someone put it on my chat the other day. I think Lucas said it on a different stream, yeah? And he turned around and said to me, when you look at Souček, yeah, he covers the ground, don't get me wrong. But Declan Rice covers it harder, and he runs harder for the team, right? Listen, Souček's been very, very good, but if you had someone who was a bit more technical, who like a Calvin Phillips, if you had Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice together, I don't think no one would argue. I really, really don't. I think they'd be like, I think people say, you know what, fair enough. We've got two ball playing defensive midfield players. One of them can sit there in Phillips, and he's a good defensive midfield player, and Declan Rice can run forward. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes we look too much for throwing balls in the box. And let's be honest, it's only really Souček and Dawson who score headers. That's the only people who really score. Like Antonio don't score no headers. Benny don't. Bowen, I don't think as this season. I might be wrong. He might score one if he's lucky. So yeah, when we're trying to look for keep putting balls in the box, but there's really we're only in for Souček. It's too easy, mate. It really, really is. Fasic just hasn't cut out for our style of play. 30 million from the Russian league. Where are we at? Panic buy, Davids. Simple as that, mate. It sums it up. And I said it on this channel when I first started it. I've got a lot of stick for it. Vlasic is a panic buyer. He always has been. Lingard didn't come. They had to get someone. They got Vlasic. Simple as that, mate. We've been linked to a centre back today, and one over that. Yeah. Not saying Souček hasn't been good. It's just that he's never looked tired to me. The ball has bounced off him. What's that, mate? Let's have a look. What's that? The ball has bounced off him many times in his control and passing, but what it wasn't the season before. Listen, the only way you can sum it up is that if Souček turns up next season and he's on it, then you can say it's because of the Euros. If he don't, then we've got a problem. Because how much is Souček worth? 40 million? If we was to sell him for 40 million and got Calvin Phillips in for 30 million, that is a no-brainer to me. It really, really is. And I understand it, listen, but I understand why Mitchell goes in on him. Because I'll be honest, when Mitchell started coming on this channel, I was like, Mitch, I think you're talking crap, mate. But Mitch has not only convinced me, but I've watched Souček now, and I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, yeah, he's too robotic. He really, really is. Do you know what I'm saying? So, my debut comment in this wonderful YouTube channel of yours. What is this channel all about? Say no to the puff. West Ham, mate. So if you're a West Ham fan or a football fan in general, you're welcome here, sir. Do you know what I mean? Is Vlasic a Sully special? Of course he is, mate. Is Crow a Sully special? Of course he was and all. Let's have a look. What else we got? It's just skipped up. Let's have a look. Would you take Ollie Watkins, Steve? I definitely would, mate. I watched him the other day against Van Dijk, and I think Ben Rama, Ollie, Bowen, three-man attack. It'd be good. I think West Ham have to change system next season, though. That's one thing I will say. For me, I think we need a three-man attack. Like, I think 4-2-3-1. Like, we go wide. If we had a big man in the box, right, then I can understand going wide, crossing balls in and doing it that way. Yeah. Let's be honest, Jared Bowen's carried us this year within the goals and all that. Benny and obviously Antonio have chipped in with goals, but not enough from the pair of them. And I say that quite openly. Even though I back Ben Rama up, he should be scoring more goals. He really should. But, and there is a but here, if we play a 4-3-3 and you've got two inside forwards like a Bowen and just say, for example, a Rafinha, because I watched Rafinha last night and I like that kid, mate. I really do. He works hard, that boy, and he's got skill and he's excellent. And if you had Rafinha one side, Bowen the other side, and had a centre forward going through the middle, West Ham would look a hell of a lot better. I think we've got to go up a grade now, though. That's the only thing I will say. We've got to go up levels, and that's what it is. So, yeah, I 100% would take Ollie Watkins, mate. Souček, hammer of the year next year. Next year, me thinks. Buster, I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. But the only thing I will say is that you start seeing things on social media and everything. You're seeing James Ward-Prowse being linked, Calvin Phillips being linked. We're getting linked to a lot of midfielders. Don't get me wrong, we need midfielders. There's no two ways about it. Even with Souček in the team at present, we still need at least two midfielders. Nobes is going. Krau is being released. You know what I mean? From his kidnap. But do you know what I'm saying? We need midfielders. So it could be one or two things. It could be you could be looking at this and going, they're going to add to the squad and Souček stays, or are we just going to go and get rid of Souček and upgrade a few levels? I honestly don't know, mate. Mustn't be underestimated how much of an outlet Kafel is for Souček. I think he's missed Vlad being there. True. But Vlad hasn't had a good season, though, mate, if I'm honest. In my opinion, I think he's been a very hit and miss. Souček's been playing a more defensive role when he's better going forward. Moyes has pushed right to more of an attacking midfielder when I think he's better as a CDM. That's a great point. That really is. And I called that during the season. Funny enough, against the Brentford game, which was one of the highest, which was the highest rating for worst defeat of the season for West Ham at home. Declan's a better player going forward than Souček, in my opinion, though. Like, he's better up with the ball. He carries the ball up the pitch. He can beat a man. I don't see that from Souček. I see Souček covering the yards, getting about the pitch, very good in the air, but that's it. Like, he don't score any goals from outside the box. He don't score no goals with his feet, really. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't remember the last time he scored a goal with his feet. Someone could tell me in the chat. I'd like to hear it. So it's an interesting one with him. Like, should that go forward? But are West Ham really planning long term? Are West Ham going to go out this summer and go, I'm going to buy him, and him, knowing that Rice could be leaving next year, and they've got the replacements a year in? Do you know what I'm saying? So we will see. That Rice and Phillips partnership would be so good. They tore it up at Euros for England. Listen, I agree, mate. I really do. It's bloody annoying. We bring on Vlasic last 30 minutes and turn down Hell's it on loan. Surely can't do any less. Yeah, I agree. What we got, mate? It's just jumped on me. Don't jump on me. I mean, I'll back to your comments. Hold on, mate. Hold on. Right. Any truth in the rumours that we have a Lukaku-Antonio forward combination next season? I highly doubt that, mate. I really, really do. For as long as Rice stays at West Ham, does anyone have a chance of winning Hammer of the Year? Bowen. If Bowen performs like he did last season, like this season, sorry, and he starts and then finishes the way he did, which he's doing, I think he run Rice close this year. I think the only reason why he didn't, because he started too late. I think he started scoring goals in late October, in November. But listen, I think Jared's been excellent, mate. And if we get a Keane Lewis Potter, remember that name, Keane Lewis Potter, as I've always said on this channel, that boy is a talent. And he will, in 2 years' time, that boy will be top drawer. And if West Ham can get the deal done for him, Trust me, I'll be having a party on this channel, mate, 100%. He's a top kid. He's always willing to learn, top class. I'm hearing Benny's fit for the weekend fever. Let's hope so, mate. Two more goals, Benny. Two more for the 40-1. I mean, you can do it, son. I'll definitely take Watkins. Dominic Calvert better than Watkins. He's Trojan. He's been gone though, ain't he, mate? Let's be honest. What's he really done? Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's been poor this season, definitely. Ben Rama, Watkins, Bowen. What an insane front three. The old BMW, mate. The old BMW of Brentford. That was obviously the only man that we're missing there is what's his name? Mbema. Yeah, top class, mate. So yeah. I ain't no football fan, but I love your passion, kind sir. So I will tag along on the journey. All I care about is X-Puffs from the YouTube pipes. Whatever that is, brother, you enjoy whatever you're doing, right? Do you know what I mean? And I appreciate you tagging along for the journey, mate, because the journey's going to be big. You know what I mean? Rice, Phillips, Antonio, and Lukaku. I don't see a Lukaku go to West Ham, mate. I'd be stunned if that happened. Good question, this one. Would you sign Traore? I know some people will slate me off here, but we really do with his pace in our side, which we seem to lack. The problem is, there's two ways of looking at that, mate. Yeah, the first thing, if we sign him, I don't want him as our backup centre forward. That's one thing I don't want. Yeah, sign him up, get him on the right-hand side or left-hand side if we need pace coming in. Right. Obviously, if the game is going a bit flat and Antonio's not doing it, Bowen up front, Traore on the right. Yeah, that's pace. Right, I get it. I really, really do. But I don't want it to be a cheap signing and then we don't go and get a striker. Do you know what I mean? Because we do need a striker at this club. Now, I'm finding it very, very difficult that we can't find a striker in nearly 2 years now. Do you know what I mean? But we got skip down a little bit. Broder's gone off the ball. Yeah, I don't want Broder, mate. He don't cross much, does he? He cuts in. Yeah, but do you know what I like about him, mate? He's direct. That's one thing I will say. He's very direct. He will get the ball down. He will run down that channel, and that's what we want. But we need someone who's going to overlap our players. Do you know what I mean? We don't. That's one thing we don't do. We just don't get to the byline enough for us. Let's skip right down. Let's have a look. What we got? What is your summer transfer wish list? Oh, mate. First of all, we need a centre half. So Nathan Aki for me, someone of that ilk would be great. Tarkowski on a free, would we take him? I think we would, because it's West Ham. We take anyone for free. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. People say about Belotti. I think Belotti's a good signing. I really, really do. I think Lingard. I think with the Lingard situation, you're going to find out right now if Lingard is up for it with West Ham. Is it about money or is it about his football career? Because let's be honest, wherever he goes now, it's going to be about his football career, isn't it? It's got to be. Like he can't be short of any money. He really, really can't. So it has to be like it's the final hurrah, basically. My ideal striker would be Ivan Toney. I think West Ham meant business. Go and get Ivan Toney out of Brentford. Do you know what I mean? You can offer him European football. He's based in London. Pay the money, get the player in. Because I believe when Kane does leave Spurs, I think Spurs will go after Ivan Toney. And if they don't this summer, Arsenal will go for him. If Arsenal get up there, do you know what I mean? He's the ideal centre forward for me. He really is. Give me a 4-3-3, Rice, Suchet and James Ward-Prowse in the middle of the park. Yes, Lucas, 100%, mate. Let's have a look. Let's skip down. I think Zuma has an outside chance of winning Hammer next year. I agree. You like Lewis, Brendan Johnson is clear. I think both of them, mate. Buster. I really, really do, mate. I'm not disagreeing with you. Brendan Johnson, mate. West Ham was to sign him, I'd be over the moon. I really, really would. I like that kid. He reminds me of like a little Ryan Giggs back in the day. You know what I mean? Gets the ball down, direct, pacey, beats a man, good with 2 feet. He's an excellent prospect, trust me. And whoever does sign him has got a talent on their hands. But for me, King Lewis Potter is he's a Moyes type player. He's hard working. He gets up and down the pitch. He's lively. He's good in the air for a little bloke. I think he's only about 5'8", 5'7". He's very good. He scores a lot of goals in the air. But I know it's a different level Championship to Premier. But I can see that geezer developing. That's the difference. Like when Bowen was at Hull, I used to sort of follow Hull because of I had sort of allegiances up there with my ex-partner, and Bowen was a talent. He really, really was. But even for Hull, Keane Lewis Potter is in the same boat there. He doesn't score many goals. I think he scored like 10 or 11 goals this season. Yeah. But in a better team, I think he will get better. Do you know what I'm saying? So either or for me. Lewis Potter looks a finisher. He is, mate. He really is. What we got here? How gracious I am of your response. I guess I will strap myself in with no pipes around. This channel will be sound. All about the pipe, mate, isn't it? You know what I mean? Where if we got here, let's have a look. All right. Traore only wants 10 grand a week, but he's Johnson's baby always. Yeah, I know, mate. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I prefer a striker. We need someone like the Brentford left back. I know who you're on about, Troge. That's another man that I've mentioned on this channel with Affers and Charlie Walsh. Good old Charlie Walsh, man. Rico Henry is the boy's name, and Rico Henry is the man that West Ham should have signed last year. Yeah, and I think if Brentford never went up, West Ham might have got him. He's excellent, mate. He's very, very good, pacey, good defender. Everyone, what it is, a lot of the fan base thought, you know what, these players ain't going to cut it in the Prem. But I always knew that Rico would, though, mate. He's a very, very good defender, and he for a left-sided defender, they're hard to find. He's got both. He can defend and he can attack. And that's what we need. That's one thing we need to get this summer is 2 fullbacks, left back and right back, really, who are willing to bomb up and down. Do you know what I mean? And who can defend. Yeah, Bowen on toast. I agree, mate. Nathan Ake, yeah. He's got the legs. With Nobes, Fredericks, Rice and Cresswell all potentially leaving or being replaced, is it vital we sign some English players to meet the FA's quota? I don't think we will do, though, mate. I think we'll bring players in. I think Harrison Ashby is a player that will come in. I really do believe that. If they sign Calvin Phillips or James Ward-Prowse, that's 2 English players straight right there. Possibly, but not unlikely. Do you know what I mean? Bowen's English. So, yeah, we've got a chance. Let's put it like that. Let's have a look. Scroll down. No one rated Rico Henry. No, mate. People didn't. People thought he wasn't going to cut it. But I've always said on this channel, and go back on my old videos, I've always said I've liked that kid. And I think he's an ideal replacement for Cresswell on that left-hand side. But if we was to sign Hickley from Bologna, oh, mate, I'll be over the moon with him. Because he's another one. He's young, but he's going to get better. That's the difference. Well, it's just skipped again. 5 million, I think we could have got him for. Yeah, I agree. New manager is needed first, James. Moyes will reject signing players. Eastside views. I'm glad you have joined us tonight, mate. Give us your thoughts on who you would like to be manager at Eastside views. I think one thing I do agree with Eastside views on, I will say this quite openly, is that Moyes has got to attract these type of players, though. If we're being linked with your Calvin Phillipses, your James Ward-Prowses, we've got linked with a Rennes defender, Hickley. He's got to have the pull to bring him in. Do I think he has the pull? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Declan Rice has, because like come and play with Declan Rice, but Declan Rice's future's up in the air at the minute. We don't know what's going on with him. So it's an interesting comment that he says there, and I do sort of slightly make him right. He has to pull the players in. Let's have a look. Remember when we was laughed at for the suggestion of Rico Fever? I totally remember that also, Scott. I do remember saying it on a stream a long time ago, and I said Rico's the man, and people literally, me and Scott was on a stream. Scott was in the chat, and I was on the stream doing a live feed, and people was laughing at me, saying, "You having a laugh, James? He's shocking. He's been like he was a Championship's best left back last season, or not last, yeah, last season. Sorry." And I was getting laughed at, and I was like, "Mate, you don't realise how good Rico Henry is, mate." And there you go. Look at him now. What we got? West Ham beat Frankfurt with a Rico Henry. Yeah, I agree. Evening, everyone. Just joined the late. I was cooking me dinner. Hope everyone's all good. All good, happy. Hope you're well, son. Is Tony for sale? Problem is, mate, if Tony's not for sale, you have to drop in a bid where, let's be honest, it's too good to refuse for Brentford. I think if you want to take a look at Brentford's model of how they sign players, I'll tell you what, they sign some good players. And some of their players, they've got the centre half, can't think of his name off the top of my head, who used to play for Forest Green Rovers. And now he's playing the Premier League. Jamaican lad, I can't think of his name. They signed Rico, Norgard's in there, who's excellent. The German in there, Fault, I think his name is. I can't think of his name. Obviously, they got Mbeumo, who, let's be honest, I think Mbeumo's a really, really good player. And Mbeumo wasn't that good at the start of his Brentford career. I remember, because obviously I've got a mate who's a Brentford fan, and he used to say he used to get a lot of stick. Out of the BMW, he was the one who used to get the stick mainly, Mbeumo. Because you had Mbeumo, Benrahma, and Watkins. And listen, how he's progressed is excellent. Do you know what I mean? Hi, James. Just joined 5 a.m. here. God, I do feel for you, mate. I'm glad it's only half. I think it's about 11 o'clock now. Do you know what I mean here? But I hope you're well, John. Rank these positions in order of priority: goalkeeper, left back, centre midfielder, and striker. Here we go. Goalkeeper has to be done. I think it has to be Areola. I think we'd all agree that Areola has to be signed. Europa League run this season has been absolutely first class with him in goal. I don't want to see Johnson at the club. I'm sorry, but I don't want to see anyone else. Just pay the money. The bloke wants to stay. Get it done, West Ham. It's as simple as that. Sign him up, then let Fab be like the backup goalkeeper and Areola be first choice next season. Moving on to left back. Left back, we've just mentioned it. Rico Henry, Hickley, Zinchenko, Woldav. If Man City don't want to go down the route of keeping him there, I'll get him out of there. But we need a left back. There was no two ways about it. Cucurella is another one. Scott just mentions in the chat there. For me, West Ham have to sign a left back this summer. I think that's a major. It has to be a signing. Like, I don't know excuses that there's no left back that we can't find on this planet. But you know what? It is what it is. Anyway, moving on to central midfield, which, let's be honest, there's a range of players that we could have. I like Basuma. I like James Ward-Prowse is a mention. Phillips is a mention. Could Connor Coventry come back and do something for West Ham? We don't know. But we need at the very least, 2 central midfielders. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need. I like Calvin Phillips, but like I watched him the other day, and his passing was a bit over the gaff. It was, but it was against 10 men. And then the striker, left-sided winger. If West Ham went out and signed Rafinha, I would be over the moon. Literally over the moon. I'd be buzzing. Even if he comes in and takes Benrahma's place, I'll be over the moon. That boy works hard. I watched the Leeds game last night, and even down to 10 men, that boy was running and running and running, and he just does not stop running. Right. One thing he's got is energy. And I think him in a team going further forward, I think he could be deadly, mate. He's a ball carrier, and that's what we need at West Ham. We need people who can pick the ball up and drag us up the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So Rafinha would be an ideal signing. Jesse Lingard. The problem is with Jesse is we don't know what Jesse that we're going to get. A year ago, he was amazing. A year on, is he the same player? We just don't know. Is it worth the risk? Maybe. But I don't think I'd be quite shocked if he's at West Ham this season, like for a new season. I really, really would. And we need a centre forward. There's no choice about it. A Belotti, we had a chance to sign Nunes in the January window. We let him go. Like, and look at Nunes now. I think Nunes will go on to bigger heights. He really, really will. So for me, they're the players that I believe we need in certain positions. What else we got? Let's get to the. Yeah. Take care, man. All the best. Kukuraya and Basuma double scoop. I wouldn't mind that charge at all, mate. I really wouldn't. Let's have a look. Bugger Lingard, he's had his chance. A lot of the fan base are saying that, mate. Right? A lot of the fan base are saying, you know what, we don't need Lingard now. Like, we can attract other players. I think Lingard's a good signing for a free. I really do. If you get him over a 3-year deal or 3 or 4 year deal, I think he's a good signing for a free. But will we get the same Lingard? I don't know. I really, really don't. And would Lingard be a starter for West Ham? That's another thing. Like, if you get Jesse Lingard who come in and was amazing, then he starts every game. But if he comes in and doesn't do that, then it could be another Vlasic situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting, whatever we do. Yep, that's it. I can't pronounce his name, mate, but he's a good player, I must admit. I'm annoyed by Lingard messing up our transfer window. Listen, that's not a bad shout from Troves there. It really, really ain't. When you look at Jesse Lingard, that summer window, we was expecting him to come to us and to go and get Vlasic. And I don't want to go in on Vlasic because it is his first season, but he has been poor. Like, there's no two ways about it. Like, even the games he's played, if someone can tell me 3 games that where they think he was like higher than a 7, I'd like to hear it in a rating. Do you know what I mean? Because he hasn't really done a lot. And I do agree with that comment about Jesse Lingard sodding up our transfer window. What else we got? Let's skip down. Does East London smell different from the other parts of London? It does if we get Europa League football, and that is a big thing. If we can get Europa League football, then we can attract a lot of these players. Like your Conor Gallagher is another one that just comes to mind. Do you know what I mean? But we need to get European football. I believe we will get conference minimum. Like, I think Wolves, they need to win both their games. I just can't see them doing that. On the other hand, I can see Man United just falling apart. So West Ham on Sunday, really, West Ham's game on Sunday is massive. It's massive. If we can just get a draw out of the game, I believe we can get Europa League. I think if we get Europa League, our transfer budget or transfer targets change. They change from the conference to Europa League, and it's going to be massive. Whatever we do this summer, I think it's going to be one of the biggest windows in West Ham's history. Like, I actually think we need at least 7 players, and that is no joke. All right, and that's 7 players replacing what's going out. So it could be more. Do you know what I mean? I can't believe Vlasic was a Moyes signing. John, I've always said this, mate, and I'm going to say this before I wrap up. Vlasic was a panic buyer. It always was, because I remember doing a show a long, long time ago, about 7 or 8 months ago, and I turned around and said that surely David Moyes has connections at Everton. He would have found out what Vlasic was like, right? And basically, like, spoke to scouts and all that. David Moyes has been in football for a long time. He must know people at Everton. And for me, I would have done a bit more research with it. Right? We're going for Lingard, then hold on a minute, we're getting Nikola Vlasic from CSKA Moscow. It just didn't really make a lot of sense, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? It come out of nowhere. Yeah, he had an okay Euros, but he was just okay. Like, he weren't like vintage. And that's it, really. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting one. Will Vlasic come good? I think he's going to have to, mate, next season. Because this season we've seen nothing of the man. Do you know what I mean? And if you go break down the whole deal, and you can believe what you want to believe, but what I believe from people who have told me, it's a £33.5 million total package deal. Now, is he worth £33.5 million total package? The answer to that is no. I don't think he's worth even 15 million at the minute. So he's got to sort himself out. He really, really has. And let's have a look. Phil's got a comment here. Do we get a first choice left back to replace Cresswell, or a young player to be developed instead of Masuaku? or do we convert Johnson into a left back and get a richer? I think that's a right back instead. Good comment, Phil. I feel that we definitely need a left back. Like, I don't care who it is. All right, as long as they're half decent. Hickey is the man for me. All right, obviously Rico Henry would, but I don't think Brentford would sell him, and he would cost us too much money. But we need a left back, and whether they're young or old or whoever they are, West Ham have to get a left back at this club. Mazawaku's not a left back; he's like a left wing back at best, and even that's bad. So we need to sign a left back, whoever it is. Could Johnson go there? Defensively, though, mate, yeah, he's okay defensively, but he's wrong-footed all the time. So it's an interesting one. It really, really is. Anyway, I'm gonna. What we got here? Are you planning on doing anything for no? Are the club planning on doing anything for Nobes on Sunday? Yeah, it's a good question, Jezza. Before we wrap up, hopefully the club do something quite special for him. I have heard that Tevez is looking to be there, and amongst other things, and it will be an interesting day. It'll be a sad day, but it'll be an interesting day. Listen, my thoughts on Mark Noble is he's been absolutely first class for West Ham United Football Club. He really has. And listen, the only thing he hasn't done is win anything. But what he has done is won the hearts and of every West Ham fan. Do you know what I mean? The geezer's the most loyal West Ham fan probably ever. Do you know what I mean? To play for West Ham, he could have walked away many years ago with relegations, but he stood with us through thick and thin. And that deserves a lot of credit, especially in this modern day that we live in. Too many people are too easy just to jump ship. I remember back in the day growing up, Defoe was ideal one. He jumped ship amongst other players because they thought the grass was greener. Some of them went on to have good careers, some of them not so good. But Mark Noble has stayed with us through thick and thin. He deserves all the respect in the world. And I know it's going to break him on Sunday. I really, really do mean that. I believe it's going to really break him in half, really, because he knows that he's never going to play football professionally at the LS after Sunday comes. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously he is planning that tournament at the I think it's UNICEF. I think it is. I'm not sure what that tournament is, but listen. As for Mark Noble, mate, what I like about him. He's old school. He's got old school morals. He's got the respect of the younger younger players. The younger fans look up to him. The older fans don't really, give him the same respect though. Some people say, "Oh, he's not a legend," right? Oh, other people are legend. Like, listen, Bobby Moore is a legend at West Ham, and he always will be forever. But I'm not saying he's a he's a modern day legend, Mark. He really, really is, and he deserves that respect. Do you know what I'm saying? He's done. The only thing that guts me a little bit is he never played for England, because I think there was that 2015-16 era. I think it was where he was excellent. I think it was, and for me, that's the one little downside to it. But as the old song goes, he was too good. He was too good for England. So it is what it is. There. Let's get your final comments before I go. Apparently, Moyes is in charge of the transfer negotiations, so we're going to leave it late. Yeah. If Sucha goes down on Sunday, look for a man in the crowd holding a weapon. That'd be definitely be Mitch, mate. Who do you want to finish fourth, Buster? Arsenal have been very. God, their fan base has been terrible, really bad. They're on their way back tonight. They got humbled by their rivals. Oh dear, it's an hard one, that one. I would probably say Arsenal, because I can't say anything nice about Spurs. I really can't. Spurs are more of a rival than Arsenal. They always have been. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I think Arsenal do it for gritty teeth with me. What else have we got? Arsenal are the new Spurs, yeah. Just to thank my mate Gilbert Noble, his first pair of football boots makes me feel old. Damn, mate, yeah. Well, that is it on that. Listen, I've had 25 people Max, there's about 38 people in the chat tonight. I really do appreciate everyone who's watched me tonight. That has been the opinion poll results. If you're new around here and this is the first time watching, roll back to the start and you'll see what I'm talking about. All the polls were in, and there was some controversial ones, but Jared Bowen's got the best chant of the season on this channel. Most underachiever is Suchek, and yeah, Alex Crowell is the best smile from the bench. That was another one. Listen, I'll be back again on Sunday to do a afterthought and player ratings. It will be a sad day for Mark Noble. It really will be, and I do believe that it's going to be tough on him as a man. Like, your career's coming to an end. What you've done for the last 20, 25 years of your life playing football, it's going to stop from like this season. And yeah, it's going to be a sad day. But afterthought player ratings will be up on Sunday evening. Please smash a like on the video also. It goes a long way. It really helps me out greatly. And please do subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. My numbers are going up slowly but surely. The grind is good and we are getting there. You know what I mean? But anyway, enjoy your weekend and I will see you on Sunday. Good night.